Yeah.
Good evening, YouTube world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And welcome to the Arm Wrestling Buzz episode 49, guys. We're doing the Winter Blast and Arm Gods recap special. So of course, we got Evan Bergone in the house. He was just over at Arm Gods in Ireland.
Are you ever going to learn how to say my name properly?
No, bro, it wouldn't be right if I did. And then we got Matt Wilds. He's stepping in right now. He was just over at Winter Blast. And we got the Arm Wrestling Buzz crew, Matt Conley and Israel Chavez in the house. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, Paul. Doing good, brother.
I want to first then say shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Mr. Peanut. We got Joshua, the camera guy. Great job this past weekend over at the Winter Blast. Holding down the live feed was amazing. Thank you, Joshua. Drew24, what's up? Voodoo. Got to meet Voodoo in person this weekend, man. This dude is cool, man. He's really about it. Him and I think Nani almost went at it on the stage. I was interested to see as well.
Shout out that's the man, Voodoo. Wow.
Yep, that's the man,
That
man.
was the guy that did that little shove thing?
Hell yeah. He's in the chat right
kind
now.
of a pussy, huh?
He's no joke, man. Voodoo's no joke. We got Shubage.
Tossed around like a little bit of a joke on the stage there.
Tall Paul, Jag Corbin, Danny Medeiros. What's up, everybody? So, guys, want to first start off. Let's start off with Arm Gods. Want to hear about the trip? I know we got to see Matt. It looked like you went on a journey to get there and going home. How many hours of travel was it getting there, bro?
Oh, it's 24 hours flight time in the air. So it was 2 stopovers. Yeah, it's a long way around. It's like completely the other side of the world. But it was decent the way I went on the way there because I had 2 nights where I was able to just go into a hotel and actually get some sleep, which was great. It did take 3 days to get there, but I felt pretty good by the time I actually turned up. When I literally got back 3 hours ago, and it was pretty much a straight shoot, 24 hours, non-stop. It was Dublin, Istanbul to Kuala Lumpur to Adelaide. And man, that flight back was the worst. From Dublin to Istanbul, the worst flight I've ever had. It was just like, when the airplane is turning left to right, it's not too bad. But when it starts pitching like this, like you're on an elevator, and it was doing that for like 4 hours straight. Everyone on the plane got sick. I threw up. Everyone was throwing up. They didn't have sick bags. It was so bad. We got priority landing because like the captain had to make an announcement because everyone was like getting sick. It was so bad, man. And I landed and went straight back up again.
Man, it would have been way better if you asked me about my travel because I had a lot of complaints about it, and now I feel like a giant pussy.
I still feel so dizzy.
4 hours worth of total travel time from bed to bed, right?
3 hours.
And that sucked. Dude. Arm Gods is going to Australia.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I was welcomed onto the UK team with open bottles to go fuck up the Australians. But when I found out right now what that travel time is, I think I'm going to decline their offer. I don't want to do that. That sounds terrible. I get my ass kicked everywhere. I'm sure a kangaroo beat me fucking too. Mind your business. I'm fucking busy.
So tell me, Matt, so you get over to Arm Gods. What day did you get over there?
I got there Thursday. So everything was kicking off on the Saturday, but I wanted to get there a couple of days early because I know what international travel is like. And we've had so many delays and stuff in the past. I was like, I'm going to get there early in case anything goes wrong. It was all good. Got there, settled in, went straight down the pub.
You competed in the tournament, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was great.
So you figured 2 days is enough to get rid of the jet lag and do the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to do well.
I showed up 8 days early to get rid of the jet lag, and all I ended up with is a massive hangover. Why the fuck would you show up to get rid of hangover?
No, it was fun. I was going there for
in fucking Ireland. Oh man, I didn't think it through so well, or did I?
So tell me, when did everything like kick off? When did all the events start going on? Like when did the press conference take off? I want to hear all the behind the scenes details.
Yeah, well, Evan was the star of the press conference.
I'm the star of every fucking day wherever I am. I had a phenomenal time in Ireland. I was drunk all 14 days. So the one day I didn't drink, I was still drunk. Like just from perpetual drinking.
Yeah. Well, we went into one of the pubs on, I think it was Monday morning, Sunday morning, something like that. You came and sat at our table with no voice whatsoever.
That
was
Sunday.
Yeah, you'd just gotten up. And I think within 5 minutes you'd had 3 beers. Like it was
Well, I mean, you were sitting with all the UK team and they just kept buying me pints. Like, what am I supposed to do? Say no? My name is not I don't want a beer, man. Like that's not how I do. It's
So can you tell me what happened because I didn't get to see the press conference. I got to see the event, but I didn't get to see the press conference. So what went down at the press conference that Evan was the spotlight? Did you do something crazy?
So I will give you the quick highlights of everything before mine. Because I didn't get to watch mine, so I'll let Matt deal with that one. But both guys went up. They were very respectful. They shook hands. They both thought they were going to win, and they said the best man will win. That's basically the story of the show with the press conference, like it always is at every press conference until my name gets called.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it was fantastic. You're completely right. You had such a contrast between all the other athletes being respectful, humble, glad to be there, all the rest of it. I'm going to be the better man on the table, blah, 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 to here's you, man, who comes down yelling, screaming, and Uncle John who's yelling and screaming and back. Barely got to the table to face off against each other. And you were going to have a right-hand match that was like, let's do it now. Let's do a right-hand match. You started getting lined up for a right-hand match, and then all of a sudden, Uncle John pressed that magic button, which is if you pull Evan's beard, he hits you with a beer. So
I'm going to cut you off right there. Although, yes, that is how it went. We did lock up right-handed. And when John grabbed my hand and I started this like tack fly motion, John realized how strong I was when I started laughing at him. And he decided he would rather try pulling my beard than arm wrestling.
I thought he was knocked out. He dropped and went he face planted basically. Well, you can't see it on the camera because they turned to face Evan, but Uncle John was face down on the ground for like 10 seconds. I was like, oh my God, he's been KO'd. Yeah, but he got up, all the blood all over his face.
I reached up and I grabbed him with my right hand. Everybody's like, no, dude, you fucking hit him with your right hand. So I dislocated my knuckle when I did it, right? So everybody thought I hit him with my right hand, and I didn't. I just grabbed him so he couldn't run away so I could hit him with the beer can, right? And I did break my hand the night before. I dislocated the third knuckle here.
Jesus.
Let me ask you guys, because this is what's going on like in the community, like what people are saying and everything. A lot of people are saying that it was like staged. They're saying like what I heard was that, I think that he got hit in the back of the head, but the front of the head was bleeding and all. So was this real? Was this staged? Like what?
You know what the fun thing about rumors is? I've heard this fantastic rumor that you're a homo. And I know this is a real rumor going around because I started it, right? But not all rumors are true, right?
Okay, but so what's the real, man? Yes, no, was it real?
You tell me. I started the rumor. You tell me. I'm pretty sure I was on it. Like, was I spot on?
So I'm asking you a question and you're diverging that question. Yes or no, it was real?
Yes. I hit it with a fucking beer can really fucking hard. Yes, there was a lot of fucking blood that was very fucking real. And anybody that thinks that is not true, watch it again. Matt, you were there. You saw the gash. You saw the blood pouring for hours. Well, Uncle John ended up in the fucking ER from like 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. when we had to pull later that day. And the doctors fucking gave him the direct recommendation, do not compete today. You are suffering from massive blood loss. They gave him a CT scan to check just to see how bad the blood loss was and how fucked he is on it. And they said, do not pull. If your blood pressure spikes and that shit opens and you start bleeding again, you are risking your fucking life.
Wow.
Am I allowed to swear on this show? I mean,
Yes.
I didn't ask at the beginning because I don't fucking care, but I was just wondering.
Now, what was the consensus there of that whole, everything that happened the night before and all is, because I'm hearing like a lot of people, like the OGs in our sport, they're like totally appalled by this. They think this is going to ruin arm wrestling. And, it's kind of ridiculous of where they're going with it. But like, how was it received there?
Tell them about Ron.
Okay, so I want to leave the Ron thing for my show because Ron's coming on to my show, so we can deal with that. But I guess we'll touch on it a little bit. I don't want to be unfair to Ron with him not being here because I'm a nice guy. I'm always giving everybody a fair shake. That's how I roll. But yeah, Ron was a fucking absolute drunk old cunt. He got right in Uncle John's face, threatening to smack the fuck out of him. And then he was leaving. And on his way out, he saw me. Now, look, Ron and I get along. Like, we're buddies. And when he came out the door after giving it to Uncle John, he stopped and you see him give a big huff. Well, I gave it to John. Evan's hearing the same thing. And he got right in my face. He was very, very upset with all of it. Like, this was after the tack match. And we had a difference of opinions. Right. But he was very adamant. He was very upset.
Did he pull your beard?
I didn't know any of this went on. Was this happen in the public? Like, did anybody else see this or just behind the scenes?
Oh, it's not filmed, but I mean, there was probably fucking, 12, 15 people standing outside that saw the altercation between Ron and I. I mean, it didn't turn into a fucking much of a big deal. I'm kind of a big dude. I flexed a little bit. He backed the fuck down. No big deal. I won't say that. I won't tell the story that way when Ron's on my show, but that's how it happened for real. When he was in John's face, it was, I don't think Ron likes Uncle John at all because he gave it to John a fuck of a lot worse than he did to me. So one of two things. Either Ron's afraid of me, which I do not believe is the truth, or two, he does not like Uncle John, and he really wanted to give it to him. But Ron is that old school cat where I'm not going to act out of pocket or act one way here and another way there. So when he gave it to Uncle John first, and then he saw me on his way out, he's like, well, I did it to John. Evan's getting it too.
Evan,
Right?
what are you
Ron
hearing?
and I like each other.
What are you hearing now as far as from the rest of the community? Are they happy with you or are they kind of like disappointed with the whole match? Like what is the majority of the feedback?
Well, the match sucked on my end.
No, I disagree. I loved it, bro. I thought it was like
well, you were the one getting tax buried through your shit, Paul. Fuck you. All right. So anybody that thinks the tax weren't real are fucking stupid.
They were real.
Look, I got a touch of autism. I'm a bit retarded. I don't care. I do stupid shit. That's my life. Welcome to it. We did the tack match. You felt the tax every fucking time. The shit hurts. But I'll tell you, I don't mind physical pain that much. There's two kinds of pain, emotional and physical. And I would pick physical every fucking time if I get the choice. Losing to Uncle John hurts far worse than those tacks ever did. Right? I mean, I felt them. They hurt. I bled. My hand's a little fucked up. Whatever. Losing was far more painful for me because I've been on a bit of a skid and people are getting on my case about it. And I don't care too much about people's opinions, but I want to win for me. I like to compete. I like to fight. And I don't ever show up with the intentions of losing, right? Even if I believe I'm the underdog, I'm not stupid. I think I'm just honest with myself. You can give me a match against Devin. Oh, you're going to pull Devin. Buck. Okay. Are you going to pay me? Yeah, we're going to give you $100 to pull Devin. All right, I'll pull Devin for $100. You know I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? Well, yeah, we know, but everybody likes seeing you lose. I'm like, cool. I will show up. I will pull Devin. I want my $100, and I will try as hard as I fucking can, knowing it doesn't matter. But you're never going to take that fight out of me. When that ref says go, I'm going to give everything I fucking have, and I'm not going to stop until the final pin has happened, and I have to stop. I love the fight. This is why we do this. We enjoy this shit.
Let me ask you, Evan, before the match, what were you looking to get out of this match?
For the match, what I was looking to do was fake COVID and go home.
But I'm saying
kidding.
as meaning, was there any goals?
Terrifying. I saw the tack pads. I walked around and showed everybody these pads. Like, look how fucked this is. I poked a few people with them. They're like, oh my God, that shit hurts. You're fucking retarded. I'm like, I know. I really don't want to do it. Is it too late to fake an injury or COVID or something? Can I just like not do this? Or like, I have to do it now, right? I do.
But I'm real curious to know, like, what was the whole goal behind it? Was it to get more views? Was it to like go viral? Like, what was the whole, because not everybody would agree to do a tack match. You got balls, bro. You get my respect for that.
It's we're living in a world full of pussies, right? And that's just a fucking fact. Do I want it to go viral? Absolutely. Why would you not? Name me one downside for any aspect of the sport if that goes viral.
The story.
Right, so don't even try. So here's the thing. I'm going to keep talking because I like to do that. If I'm wrong, right, and the guys that say you're ruining the sport are right. East versus West, their pay-per-view buys, the guys that are buying that and watching that, they're the purists of the sport, whatever, cool. Look, I watch that shit too. I love it. But if I'm wrong, and I am ruining the sport, okay, every single person that was watching East versus West anyways, name one of them that's going to say, I'm not watching East versus West anymore because Arm Gods was mean to people. Name one person that's not going to continue watching East versus West because they don't like Arm Gods. None. It's not going to happen. That's ridiculous. And if they do, holy fuck, we got way too many Karens around that we don't need. All right. Now, if I'm right, and I'm not saying we got to go super viral, 100 million views. I mean, fuck, it'd be cool if we did, though, right? But if we get a few 100,000 people that see this and they say, you know what? That shit's entertaining. And then they watch it. But we had a match like Connor Sale and Matt Smith on that card, and they see that. And they're like, holy fuck. And look, just to be clear, Arm Gods as a whole, I do think is the most entertaining of all the promotions. East versus West, they got kind of wrapped up with the highest level of competition, right? That is the Olympics, whatever, and they're professional, cool, all that. But you're not going to get the average fan into watching it because it's fucking boring. And people don't watch it unless Devin's in it. So let's compare this to events that don't have Devin involved.
I agree. Everything you're saying.
They watch this. The trickle-down effect is they watch other arm wrestling matches and they're like, fuck, arm wrestling's kind of cool. They will start watching the East versus West because that is the pinnacle of the sport. We're never going to have, I saw this, so I'll never watch that. That's not going to happen. The only thing that is possible is an upside for everybody. And if there's a downside, we were wrong. We fucked it all up. Everybody failed. We were all wrong. Big fucking deal. Nobody watched either of it.
All right, give me a minute now. I got to catch up. I got a super chat in here from the Metal 365, $5 super chat. He says, Metal be in the house. Let's get the buzz. Arm Gods was super metal. Appreciate that, Metal, and a great performance this past weekend, bro. Got a nice win and all. What I want to talk about is I want to get your guys' opinions. Let's get it from Israel. What's your thoughts on the overall of the tack match? Like, what are you seeing? Did we gain from that? Was it setting us back, like some of the OGs are saying? I just want to get like your overall consensus, good or bad.
You know, I told Evan already, man. I love it. I think it's a great idea. You know, I can see, you know, why some of the older guys might be mad trying to get the sport legitimized. But like Evan was saying, it's pretty legitimized already. We have East versus West. I think there can be room for, you know, a little excitement that we're not used to seeing. I mean, when was the last time somebody did a tag match? Never. So I think it's good for the sport. It definitely helps it grow. It's got everybody talking about it.
So if
Does
I
it
could ask
take
a
any
question on this, Paul,
legitimacy?
Israel, is there a way that what we did could negatively affect the other leagues? Can you see how that could happen?
No,
Right.
I don't see
Is
it
there a way
affecting
that we could positively affect those other leagues? If this does blow up, takes off, people see it, the trickle-down effect, and all of a sudden they like. So only positive possibility. There is literally no negative possibility.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure.
See, I
So,
don't think
so
you're
let me
completely
just be the other side and speak for them, since you know obviously they're not here. Like some of the OGs, what they're saying is it takes the credibility away. So people are saying they look at that and now they're going to say dismiss us as a serious sport. Now, do I agree with that argument? Not at all. I think it's the new age.
Here's the argument for that. So you're saying that people saw this match.
I heard your part, Evan.
Right?
Let
They
me.
saw the match.
Hey, Paul, I think
just give
RVJ
me-
wants to get on here and say something too.
Just give me
if you
1
get him
second,
on.
Evan. We heard your side. We understand where your side is. Now I just want to hear from everybody else. I want to hear Matt, who was there in person. What was your thoughts on that whole match, bro? Was that a good thing, bad thing?
Yeah, it is something that's very different. And the way that they set up their event was there were 17 matches. 16 of the matches took place, traditional super match arm wrestling format. And then right at the end of the night, there was the thumbtack match. And it was the crowd was moved back a little bit so that they had extra room, so they weren't in danger or anything like that. And it was sort of like, you know, if you don't want to stick around and watch this, you don't have to. Like, you've seen the rest of everything else. You've seen all the arm wrestling stuff.
How many didn't stick around, though?
The different thing. This is the different part, the entertainment part, or just something that's not a sideshow, but just something that's very, very different. If you don't want to see it.
How many left is what I want to know.
Oh, I don't think many left at all.
None.
Paul, could we send the link over to RVJ? I think he wants to hop in here and talk about it as well.
Including Ron Bath, who was one of those OGs that was against
We'll get
it.
RVJ on
Literally
some other time.
standing on his stool so he could get a better view of it. Right?
Yeah. I found a thumbtack in my shoe this morning. That's is how many thumbtacks are actually all over the floor there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I had one of those as well. I was like,
I got
stabbing
fucked on at the airport over my goddamn shoes over this match.
Matt, are you there? I want to kind of get Matt's opinion on everything. Not you, Matt. We got another Matt.
He was sitting there the whole time. The other Matt. There he is. Hey.
Who is he?
There he is, Matt Wilds. Matt Wilds just put a great performance on over at Winter Blast. He just beat Tim Lewis right hand at 21 years old, guys. 21 years old. So
I want to fist bump that. Careful. Don't touch the knuckles too hard. You'll get blood.
So, Matt, I want to get your thoughts, brother. We know that big thumbtack match just went down between Evan Bergone and Uncle John. And, you know, like the community's kind of split on it. You know, we got half of like the older crowd, the OGs in the sport are totally against it, kind of have like saying it's going to end arm wrestling and ruin credibility. And then a lot of the new guys are all about it, man, and think it's putting a lot of new eyes and getting, you know, spotlight to our sport. What's your thoughts on it, bro? And, oh, yeah, nice shirt, Matt. I like your shirt. I just realized you got that on. Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you for having me on. I didn't see the thumbtack match yet. I'm definitely going to check it out. I didn't watch any of Arm Gods yet, but based on what I know right now, I'm guessing the pin pad had thumbtacks in it, correct?
Yes.
All right.
A
lot of them. So to me, sounds pretty interesting. I kind of like it. You know, if I don't think it's going to harm the sport. I'm going to take Evan's approach with this. I think if you watch arm wrestling, you like arm wrestling. Like, you don't fucking come across a match and you're like, oh, this sucks. There's thumbtacks in the pad. Like, that's, to me, it's fucking pretty cool. It makes it better, if anything. You know, imagine if every time you lost, you had to bleed. You wouldn't want to fucking lose. So, to me, I think it's
You don't want to lose anytime. I promise you, after having been there, the thumbtacks are not the reason I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to
I'm
lose
with you
because Uncle
100%
John's
on
a
that.
fucking dickhead.
I'm
Yeah,
with you 100%
yo,
on that.
Evan, all three of us have something in common. We all lost this weekend. So Matt has a lost left hand against him, but he won right hand. Evan, you lost to Uncle John, and I lost also. So we all know
you know
what you're
what Matt
saying,
and I
bro.
have in common? We at least got some winning in, and you didn't.
Ah!
We're gonna get into you in a quick second here.
All right, hold on, Evan. Hold on.
Let me finish this. I got one question left for all of you.
All right, but hold on. I want to give my
Matt.
opinion. Hold on. I'm giving my opinion now. So, my opinion of the whole thumbtack match and everything. I think a lot of the old school arm wrestlers seem to forget the reputation arm wrestling has when you say to a non-arm wrestler. When you ask a non-arm wrestler about arming, the first question is, that's a thing? Next thing is, a lot of the times they'll say, isn't that like a hillbilly sport that they play in the bars? So when I hear that we're going to ruin arm wrestling, well, guys, you've been doing this 40 years. And what people got out of that was they didn't even know it was a sport. And they think it's a hillbilly thing that we do in the bars and it's not a real sport. So you guys failed. I don't want to hear whatever you think is going to work, Olympics, all that. It didn't work for 40 years, guys. So I think it's time to adapt. And the first thing I always hear is, it's not wrestling. Exactly. It's not wrestling. It's not a $1 billion industry.
Imagine if it was.
Hold on, Evan. It's not a $1 billion industry. It's not mainstream that we have people that are not just wrestlers, they're fans watching it all the time. So I think we need to learn from people that are making money and doing it great. And just to say, oh, this is not wrestling. Yeah, it's not wrestling. It's arm wrestling. It's different, but we need to learn from the things that they're doing right. And just to be like, oh, we're not WWE and that's your answer. Well, bro, we're also not just hillbillies that do this in a bar. You know what I mean? So something needs to change. And people that are being innovative and looking for new ways, I don't care if it sounds crazy. If it's going to get new eyes on our sport, that's what needs to be done. And we have a stage, just like Evan said, we have a stage, East versus West. So if you are that purist and you want to show somebody, yo, bro, we take this really serious. You want to see our best athletes in the world? We put them over to East versus West and they could watch that. But just like Evan also said, bro, I'm going to give an example right now. I'm a arm wrestling purist. I love arm wrestling. I could sit in front of East versus West for 10 hours with my popcorn and enjoy the whole show, every single one. But I will say this past weekend, I got to see Arm Gods and they had 17 matches on there. The matches that I were really into was the ones I knew somebody in the match. If I didn't know somebody in the match, I'm sorry to say this, even somebody that's so into arm wrestling, I really didn't care.
So once I knew a story, 1 second here on this, because I completely agree on this. Now, am I the highest tier of arm wrestler? No, I'm not. But everybody fucking knows who I am. Right? Now, you and Nanya, because we're going to go to that there shortly. And oh God, you don't want me on here when we do. But we're going to go to that shortly. But you guys are known, even though you are not the highest level. Like, you guys are I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You guys are the highest level of amateur, right? And I'm like that mid-tier of pro, right? There's another level of pro that's high, and then you get to the elite where the East versus West happens, right? I am not where those guys are, but why is my name known better than them? Because I understand that if you want people to watch, they have to give a shit, and they have to know who you are. You got to have fans to care. Without fans, nobody watches.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So
Make a story, man.
that's
Character.
my way of looking at arm wrestling, man. And we just got to get eyes on this sport and people to understand that this is a sport. It's fun. It's fun to watch. You don't just have to arm wrestle to watch, man. We need the fans. We need to bring in everybody that's just going to be involved with it. So that's my whole take on that. We got a super chat in from AB71 channel for $1.99 to my brothers, Paul and Israel, Alex. Oh, thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. That's a training partner right there. I want to now, I know we just talked about arm guards. We took a lot longer than expected and all. I just want to get into the Winter Blast, and I want to touch on that because we got a couple of things coming on right after this as well. So,
Paulie, look, I love you, and I get it's your show, and you get to pick how we do things, but I don't have a whole lot of time left, and I got a bunch of things I still wanted to say. I look, I'm fucking hammered. So I forgot like 3 real good points that I really wanted to get out, but your show, I got told to shut up. So we missed an awful lot of really good stuff on your show because you're a bit of a dick. So we're going to skip off that and right into the Winter Blast because I don't have time to go through the whole thing as much as I'd love to. One was the most talked about thing at Winter Blast, not the tack match. At Winter Blast, was everybody not talking about the tack match? People streaming it, watching it, talking about it.
I honestly, bro, I'm the wrong person to ask, man. I was going through my fiasco the whole day, so I don't know really what the community was doing that day there.
Well, anybody else that was at Winter Blast, was that not the theme going around? I was talking to a few people there, and they were like, "Holy fuck!" Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was streaming it.
Captain was there. Matt, what was your take, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I heard a few people talking about it. Reminded me to put it on when I got out of there for sure. Yeah, but I didn't mingle too much. I was licking my wounds and stuff, crying in the bathroom.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, no, it definitely did the thing, man. But I want to talk about Winter Blast. We got to talk about this event, man. This shit was just unreal.
I would love to stay and talk about the whole show, but can we just let me get my part about you?
All right, bro, hurry up. You got your 2 minutes, real quick, bro. Let's go, dude, and then you can get on your show tomorrow and talk the rest. Come
on. First, I got to give it up to you. You did better than I thought. But because I don't like giving people credit, I'm going to say Nanya was not as good as I thought he was from his training videos. Because I think you're both pieces of giant shit. You're both terrible fucking arm wrestlers. You at least look strong. If you were as good of an arm wrestler as Nanya is, you should have won that match. And I gave you a little bit of a hard time one night on a show after watching your last match, I don't know, somewhere down south somewhere. And you got all pissy with me. Your vagina got a bunch of sand in it. You got all mad, making fun of me instead of listening to an old pro that could have fucking helped you when I'm telling you, you better learn how to arm wrestle before night. You lost that match because you're stubborn and you believed your bicep too much instead of arm wrestling.
Bro, listen. That was not any of my plan, brother.
Fucking learn how to arm wrestle properly. You can.
All right, so guys, we're going to talk about Winter Blast now. I want to start off with Matt. I want to hear about your big match and all. So tell us a little about how did it all come about, bro? I know that you pulled Tim Lewis on Friday night on at the prelims. And then next thing, we got a nice surprise on Saturday. You got you added on a right hand match. So kind of tell us about your weekend, brother.
All right, so I just want to say, I mean, you were there, you were in my corner. I really do appreciate it. If you had seen what I was doing beforehand, I had everything Friday night. I had everything perfect. Like literally, I was going in that match. The whole day was perfect. My food was perfect. My setup, like before the match, I'm fucking running around the place like a psychopath, breathing like an animal. I had a whole breathing technique down, had my music perfect, like literally had everything perfect. Tim was just too strong for me left-handed. My original plan was to top roll him, explode into his fingers. As everyone saw, I went right in the hook with him. Was not my intention, but I was kind of surprised I thought he was gonna be stronger. Not saying he's not strong at all, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I was expecting to be kind of overwhelmed. And I watched that match over and over. He definitely was bleeding me. He definitely allowed me to. I got into my position, and he allowed me to work, and he was the senior man holding. Yeah, first round went in the hook with him. I made my adjustments, and he slowly dragged me across. Round two, I had a false start, and my false start, I was able to get like a top roll in, like slightly get a top roll in. He was on the defensive side of the table. It got stopped, got a restart, and then that round was the worst round. He took my hand. I ended up in a King's move. My left-handed King's move's not as good, and then he finished me off on the live stream. The third round was completely cut out. But from the third round that I got from Tim, and he also told me I felt the strongest in my third round. And I think that's because I got tighter. I was kind of in a press. It was more of a hook, though. And then, he opened me up. So that was a 3-0 sweep. Wasn't my plan, obviously, like everyone else that gets 3-0'd. Me and him talked a little bit afterwards. He was very respectful and cool about it. And then I asked if I could pull left-handed again with him. Me and him went to that table. I did everything I could. There was nothing I could do left-handed. He beat me every time. He was a better guy that day, left-handed for sure, without a doubt. And I like that. I'd rather lose to someone that I know like is just that much better than me than to like think that like there was something fucked up or I wasn't prepped right or something went wrong and I could have made an adjustment. That would irk me a lot more. So the fact I lost to him the way that I did, I felt good. And I also feel pretty good knowing that I didn't get flashed. I did hold my own for a little bit. Like that first round, I think was like 30 seconds. And that was in a hook with Tim Lewis. And everyone knows that's his strong point. So, I think I did pretty good left-handed for losing, And then after pulled left, I asked if we could pull right. He said, yeah. And I felt a little something there. So, but at that point, I had no intention of pulling him right-handed. Not until I went home and rewatched my match left-handed over and over and over and over and for fucking hours. I was just sitting where I am now, just watching my match. Couldn't sleep. It was like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. And I just couldn't sleep. And I'm watching this match over and over again, because everyone I told, like, I'm going to fucking beat this guy. I felt very disappointed in myself. And then it just like dawned on me that I had this right arm, this other arm, I was just like, in the morning, I'm going to text this guy and ask to pull right. I rolled up, talked to Ryan first. I was like, yo, Ryan, would it be cool if I have a right-handed match with Tim? He's like, yeah, dude, go for it. Fucking, why not? And then I texted Tim. I was like, yo, you want to pull right-handed? He was like, today? ? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm not really ready, but yeah, I'm down. He's like, what do you want to do for money? I was like, nothing, just pull. He's like, all right, cool. And then that's how that happened. So I kind of was psyched, fucking got that right-handed match. And then I went into this match knowing I had to win. I had to fucking win this. I had to redeem myself. If I lost, that would have fucking killed me, dude. I would have been so fucking disappointed.
Well, I gotta say, bro, 21 years old to get a win, regardless if it's right hand or left, bro, to get a win on Tim Lewis, man, that is unheard of, bro. Like, that is so impressive. I'm sure it's going to open a lot of doors for you. I'm sure you got other promotions hitting you up now. I mean, you're definitely on everybody's radar now, bro. Like, you shocked me that day, bro. It was very impressive, man. I can't wait to see what you got coming up next and all. Definitely a big fan, bro. So keep it up, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah. So I just we got to get into the 176 round robin, but I just want to finish off on Winter Blast. I want to just kind of, talk up everything that went on. So what an amazing weekend, man. Shout out to the 98. They put it on an amazing, amazing event. Setting records, 588 entries, like unheard of. Like just people everywhere. They put 250 chairs down, and within 5 minutes, every chair was filled up, and there was just hundreds of people standing everywhere. Outside in the lobby was just filled up. It was just crazy, man. So shout out to them. They're doing huge things in the sport. Really love it. Want to get into my match with Nanya. Everybody got to see that and all. I got like a real problem with things, man. Like it's really bothering me. And it's one thing to lose to somebody giving your 100%. It's another thing when you don't give your 100%, man. And everything that went down is it was a shit show. And I just don't get it. 3 p.m. we're supposed to roll. Everybody knew that. He did that on purpose. And Nanya, like, bro, we could have been cool after all this, but that was just the nail in the coffin for me, bro. Let me just tell everybody beforehand what went down. So that whole contract shit that went on the week before, well, we found out it wasn't over the contract. He had no problem. He was trying to get me to back out. He was trying to get me to just not want to deal with all this shit because he didn't have his side of the money. And that's the truth. So he hit up Ryan Grondin and he let Ryan Grondin know that he didn't have all the money. And they hit me up and they asked me if I would pull for half of the money. And I said, hell no. You had 9 fucking months to get this together and you don't have your half of the money. Like, what a joke. So David Schell, he is a great man. That man stepped up. He did not want to see this ruined and all. He wanted to go. So he loaned Nanya the money 2 days beforehand. So for everybody that was saying in the chat and all that, like I was too concerned about the money that day and I should have just been focused on arm wrestling. Yes, you're correct, but I should have did it a different way. But I didn't know if that money was going to be there. And we were supposed to go at 3 p.m. And before we got on stage, the money was supposed to be in Ryan Grondin's hand. But because he did not show up when he was supposed to, Ryan never had the money. So at 2:40 p.m., I was down on the warm-up table, warming up with my boy. Everybody seen me. I was wearing a red outfit, red and black outfit. At 3 o'clock, I sent my boy over to Ryan Grondin to find out where is Nanya, because we had this whole big thing set up for we were going to come in with music. Each one of us picked our song and all that, and we were supposed to come in. So 3 o'clock, I send my boy over. Ryan Grondin tells him, I don't know where Nanya is. I don't know what's going on right now. So my boy comes back and relays the message to me. So now I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, he's doing this on purpose. So at 3:10 p.m., I walk over to Ryan on the other side of the venue where the merchandise was. And I look at Ryan. I'm like, bro, what's going on, dude? Where is this dude? He's like, bro, he just texted me and he said he's going to be here at 4. So I'm like, bro, that is unacceptable. Like, I'm not playing this, bro. I'm all warmed up, ready to go. 4 o'clock? Are you kidding me right now? You got to do something, bro, or else I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm not playing this shit right now. So he just looked at me like he just put his hands up and didn't know what to do. Now, any other position of an organizer and all, like I would expect them to take control of the situation. But when I realized at that moment, he never had any authority from the beginning. He was just happy to hold this match at his event. It had nothing to do with him. It was a bet. They weren't paying anything, sponsoring anybody. So they kind of just let us do whatever we wanted. We set our own times. We set our own agreement. So they really weren't involved. So when I'm looking at him at that time, like, bro, what are you going to do? He just looked at me like, bro, I never was in charge of this. Like, I don't even know what to fucking do. So I'm like, whatever, bro. So I just turn around to my girl and I'm like, yo, I need to go up to the room and calm down because now I got everybody coming around me and they want to know what's going on. They see something's going on, but they don't know what. So I'm like, yo, I can't do this right now. I can't talk to everybody. I need to just reset. Now, mind you, this was the first time I did the Bob Brown warm-up. It started at 2 p.m. It's an hour before. I start a slow workout, warm-up. By 2:45, I'm doing my last warm-up where I'm peaked out. So by 3 p.m., I'm ready to put out the strongest person I could put out there at 3 p.m. Well, when all this shit went down, that just messed everything up for me. So now it's 3:11. I go up to the room. The second I get in there, literally, I think it was 2 minutes, the fire alarm goes off. Now, guys, over by the convention hall and all, yeah, the fire alarm might not have been a big thing because you're on the ground floor. I'm on the 12th floor, the top floor. In my room, it's blaring alarm scream. It's saying, evacuate the building. Do not go in the elevator. Go to the emergency exit and get out of the building immediately. Me and my girl just look at each other like, is this for real? She's in a sweatshirt and cowboy boots and carrying our 10-pound dog. And I'm in sweatshirt warming up and all that. So now I got to run down 12 flights of stairs. I get to the bottom. I come out into the lobby and everybody's standing in the lobby confused, just looking around. So I yelled at a person behind the desk, I have a fucking match. What is going on right now? I can't play this right now. So the lady looks at me and goes, somebody pulled the fire alarm, and just puts her hands up. I was like, I look at my girl and I'm like, yo, this dude pulled the fire alarm. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is a setup. Like, what is going on right now? With that, I'm like, yo, I just got to get back to the room now. I'm just going to start my warm-up shit. Fuck all this shit. So now the elevators still don't work. I got to go up 12 flights of stairs. As I'm going up the 6th floor, my girl's ready to pass out now. She's got to sit down, calm her down. I'm stressing the fuck out. Now we get up to our room. The second I walk in there, my boy calls me up. Yo, they're calling you on the loudspeaker. Nanya's here. I look at I am literally soaking wet. My shirt is sticking to me. I'm wearing a red shirt, gray sweat. So everything is soaking wet. Like I just jumped in a shower. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? So I tell my boy, grab Ryan Grondin and count the money. Make sure the money's there. Once it's all there, text me and I'm coming down. So all I'm doing is trying to stall right now. I jump in a quick shower, change real quick. Now I start running down again. I got to go run down again because the fucking elevators ain't working. Go back down and everything. Now we're like racing up to the convention and everything. Everybody's like coming up like, wait, what's going on, bro? You got to get up there. They're calling your name. So now I go and I find Ryan Grondin. And I'm like, yo, bro, we need to count this money right now. I'm not putting my arm down until I count it. So we go into the corner, count the money out. Okay, now let's go on stage. I go to get on stage. Every other person's super match had their full stage empty for them. They had a runway to come up. Everything was wide open. When I go up there, because we didn't start at 3 p.m. when we were supposed to, and I'm not blaming nobody for this, but they had to get the tournament going. So as the super match is about to go, the tournament's going on one of the tables. For me to walk to get to my table, they have to stop the match. And they're like, yo, that's Paul Italia. He's got a super match. We got to let him through. Now I get on the table. I'm not even in that ferocious mode now. Now I'm just going with the time. I'm just like, whatever, just go right up to it and grip up with him. I have no intensity at all. Boom, round one goes. We get into a war. I go to turn around to get to my corner and everything. Now I have 50 people right there, wall, telling me what to do, all screaming. None of my cornermen. My cornermen are behind everybody trying to get through the whole crowd. So I can't even get my head straight right now. I'm just like, yo, I'm like, there's just noise everywhere. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So, I mean, it was just a disaster. But what my main problem is, Nanya, is this is not the way you're supposed to conduct yourself, bro. And when somebody actually said it out loud to me today, and they said, yo, this dude didn't even put $1 of his own money into this, and then pulled all this shit. Yo, the $2,500 that he put up from his side, that was from his father. The other $2,500 had to come from Dave Shell the last week. So it's like this boy didn't even put $1 into this. Got all that exposure, all this shit, and then goes and disrespects me and doesn't even show up on time. Like, that's not cool, bro. Not at all. I will never be cool with you after that, bro. That's fucking disrespectful. And then for the commentary, Greg Brown, to go on there and paint a different picture where everybody's telling him right there, Josh Berger defended me and said, bro, Paul Italia was out in the hallway 5 minutes before, ready to go. It's 3:20. Where's Nanya? Who's late? And then Greg is just like laughing it off, and he knows what he was doing. He wanted to make me look stupid, saying that I was being disrespectful to Nanya and all that. Yo, bro, Greg, I'm not looking for a match with you, bro. I'm not doing it for any other reason, just to save my reputation. You went and told people a lie. I had my family, my friends that are non-arm wrestlers listening to that, and they know I'm always on time, bro, and I value that. And I would never disrespect the promotion that threw my match, and I would never disrespect my opponent like you did to me. So you did not get 100% Paul Italia that day, bro. You played your shit and you won. Art of War. You did it that way, bro, but you didn't beat me arm wrestling. That's bullshit, bro. So that's where I'm at with that, man. And you're asking to come on that, and you're telling me my stock dropped? Bro, everybody's looking at you as a fucking joke. Nobody's going to take you seriously, bro. They see what you did. Like, that's bullshit, man. And you'll never be on this channel again, bro. You didn't even have $1 for our match. You called me out. I didn't call you out. You put $5,000 up. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to keep harping on it. He beat me that day on the table. I'll give him props for that as an arm wrestler. He surprised me. But he didn't get 100% Paul Italia either, bro. So I don't know what really would have happened if I came in with that intensity. And I guess we're not going to know. But when people are asking me about a rematch and all that, bro, this dude couldn't get $1. What rematch is there? I would never even play this shit again. What I learned from this is if I do a big money super match, 1 week before, that is the minimum time the promoter has to have that money in his hand. Because then I don't got to worry about the money that day. You know, I learned a lot from this shit. Also, there's going to be a time limit. If you don't come up there and you got your 10-minute window, it's you forfeit. You know, I didn't even know that you have to write shit out like that, but obviously you do when you deal with people like that. So that's it, man. I'm not gonna keep harping on it. I'm not gonna keep bringing this up. I said my piece. All I care that everybody takes out of this is that Paul Italia was there on time that day to do what he was supposed to do, that he signed up. You got your word and you got your balls in life. If you don't got one of those, you ain't shit. So I still got my word and my balls, bro. That's it. So moving on from that, guys, I want to move on. We got another amazing thing coming up this weekend. It's the 176 round robin set by LeRae Jenkins. And we got some killers in that one. And one of them's actually on here. He's the top dude out of Canada. Alexander,
Hey guys. Hey.
Welcome, brother. How are you today,
Thank
bro?
you for having me on. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, man. We're going to bring it to now positive. You know, enough of me and my negative stuff. Let's bring it to positive. We got a great thing going on. So I want to learn about you, brother, because I heard that you are the killer of Canada, man. So how long you been arm wrestling for, and kind of give us like your background in arm wrestling?
Well, I've been arm wrestling for about 3.5 years now. I was born and raised in Georgia. I moved to Canada and I compete under Canada's name. I've been to world championships. I recently won North Americans, youth and seniors 176. And yeah, this is my next tournament now, round robin in Tennessee.
Very nice, man. So how have you prepared for this? Like, you know, I know it's hard with a round robin because like, how do you go about it? But, you know, obviously you need a lot of endurance. Is there something you're doing different for your prep?
Yeah, I used to focus on getting stronger before, and I did do that as well. But last couple months, I focused on more on endurance. I also studied my opponents from like what I could find on the internet, so I kind of know who I'm facing, but still everyone's progressing. So I'm just ready for what I can be, you know.
So who's on the radar, man? Who's the guys? Give me like 2 or 3 guys that you're worried about. Not worried about, but the guys that you know you got to definitely beat.
Honestly, man, I don't know too many of those guys. I just found out about some of them. Well, obviously there's Justin Bishop. I don't know if Sam Harris is still in there. And there's I know Cole Casper is really good, and then Dustin Hyatt is also really good. Those are the guys that I know, but other guys, they could be just as strong or stronger, right? So
No Sam on the list.
Yeah, there is some absolute killers on there. Let me read off some of these guys on the list. Actually, Israel, do you have you have the list on you, bro? It's in that
I do.
I
Yeah, I
got it
do.
here as well.
Cole
You got it, Matt?
Casper, he faced
Yeah,
Tim
yeah.
Lewis, left-handed.
You want to start with right or left hand?
Let's start off with the right hand.
So the list for the right hand competitors, we have Hunter Knopf, Devin Bear, Cody Wood, Cole Caspers, Dustin Hyatt, Josh Handeland, Chance Holiday, Dalton Duncan, Zach Lee, Alexander Kashadze, George Whitfield, and Eli Seidhoff.
Wow, absolute killers up in there. Wow. Hold on, I got to catch up. I got a couple of super chats that I think I missed over here that I want to catch up. Greg Brown TV, $10. I was all over Winter Blast talking to everyone. Paul did his job as the main event. Everyone was talking about the late start, and they still are. Not once did I hear about the tack match. Then we goes Eric Harlan, $2 super chat. The money situation is true. 100 working class snake. Okay, thank you for that, Eric. Greg Brown TV, $5. You're literally lying about what I said. I never said you were being disrespectful. Now you're making my word look bad. I never said that about you. Yes, you said, bro, that it is very disrespectful to your opponent to be late. Okay, but Israel, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this round robin, man. Like, who do you think, man, is going to be the guy that could surprise people? Because I know they got these two lightweights that have got into it. Hunter Knopf being one of them. He actually won the 154, so he got the pass to go into the 176. And I don't know, man. After seeing Hunter in person competing, that boy is dangerous, man. So you think he could be up there and potentially stir things up?
You know, man, there's a lot of people talking about this upcoming round robin, and that's been one of the big topics. People are thinking that Hunter Knopf is actually going to take this one too. You know, he trains with really good people. I mean, I've heard Adam Wierzinski and some of his teammates talk about how strong he is right now, and even they really believe that the 176 guys aren't going to have anything for him, and there are some killers in there. So that is pretty hard to believe, but it makes it exciting for sure.
Well, I just seen Alexander's face when you said that, man. How do you feel when you hear Hunter Knopf, him winning the 154s might be one of the favorites coming in? Do you believe that could possibly be?
I'm just smiling because I love when people are really confident, and it hypes me up more. I want to win even harder. So I enjoy hearing
Alexander,
that.
I need to ask you, first of all, I want to know, how tall are you?
6 foot, maybe
6 foot.
6'1".
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you, how does it make you feel to hear me saying that you might lose to a 154 guy?
I don't. You don't know, man. I beat heavier guys all the time. Doesn't matter.
What's your workaround weight, Alexander? Do you cut to get down to 176?
No. I've been wanting to gain weight, but my body just doesn't want to gain. So I'm right on 176. Just gonna try and eat as much as I can. I'll be 176 anyway, so it doesn't matter really.
What's your main style? Are you a top roller? Do you like going inside, press? What's your move?
I do everything.
You do
if
everything.
I have to, yeah.
So with it being a round robin, I'm guessing you would look to go more outside and keep it outside to keep your endurance, or not really?
Mostly I would go outside, but it also depends who I'm pulling, right? I'll just look for a weak spot in the setup, and I'll know what to do after.
Okay. And guys in the chat, if you guys can, just hit that thumbs up button. And if you guys have any questions about the 176, definitely post it in there and let us know. So Alexander, let me ask you, man, how did it all come about? Did LeRae hit you up to get you into 176? Did you hit up LeRae?
Actually, I saw a post that they were looking for the last two guys, and there was people had to comment, and I have all the relatives from Georgia. I just texted them, and they all just spammed the comments, and all the Team Canada, and I got the spot somehow. So yeah, I'm happy.
So I want to ask you, who from the list that is competing against you right-handed, who are you, most looking forward to having a match with, or who's the guy that you feel like, makes you a little nervous? Is there anyone in specific that you're looking at and you really want to match with out of all those people?
Well, I have been wanting a match with Dustin for a long time, but we were going to have a match, but then we didn't confirm anything. So I do want to pull him. Yeah, Dustin probably.
That's a
Similar
strong
style
guy.
as me. Yeah,
Yeah,
similar
definitely.
style.
I think definitely one of the possible favorites of this round robin.
Yeah, sure.
We got a super chat in from Greg Brown TV, $5. He said, yes, I said it because I was reading the chat verbatim, not words. What the fuck? Okay, whatever, Greg. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, man. I made my point. I'm not gonna go back and forth. I didn't make a reaction video to your reaction video, so you know why I did it. I'm clearing my reputation, just letting people know I was there on time. That's all I care about. The people that I care that know that, they know that. So I'm good, man, and I don't want to go back and forth. So I want to know, who do you guys think is the favorite here? Who's the guy that, you see this list and everything? I'm going to ask Matt Wild, who do you think is somebody that could come in and surprise people and take this?
So I don't know many people on that list. I do know Dustin Hyatt and I do know Cole Casper. Dustin, I think he just had a East versus West match, if I'm not mistaken. So Dustin's obviously up there in skill. I think he's really good, really technical. He seems really strong, really explosive. And then Cole Casper is another one of those guys. He had a match left-handed with Tim Lewis, and he was the one. His match with Tim Lewis is the one match I was watching over and over again, prepping for Tim, and he beat him. So, that dude left-handed is fucking strong. If he beat Tim, that dude is a strong guy. I don't know what his right's like, but if his left is like that, then I imagine it's got to be pretty good. And I'm surprised that he's a 176er. I could have swore he seemed pretty big.
How do you think Cole Casper is going to do against Justin Bishop left hand? Because Justin Bishop's in the left hand 176s.
I don't really know much about Justin Bishop, so I can't really comment on it.
Okay. Alexander, what's your chances of winning this? Do you look at yourself as the favorite coming into this round robin?
No, I've never been to the States. I've never pulled any of these guys. I don't know who they pulled, so I have no idea where I'm at. I could be really bad or I could be really good. I have no idea, right? So I'm just gonna try my best,
Well, I haven't seen you in action, but I've heard a lot of great things. And one of the dudes I know that talks highly about you is Auden Lorette. And, I know Auden's level and all. So I'm expecting some big things. I'll be definitely tuning in. Can't wait to see how it all goes down. Captain, what's your thoughts on this whole round robin, man? You excited about it?
Yeah, I am. I'm a big fan of Dustin Hyatt, so I would put him as the favorite. Yeah, and I've been following Justin Bishop's comeback of sorts, and he's doing pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, Paul, Justin Bishop being thrown into that left hand round robin really shakes things up. I mean, if there's one guy in specific that I really am interested in seeing how he does, because he's just always seems to be on a tear. It's Zach Lee. I believe his left hand. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, his left hand is his stronger arm. So if he makes it far enough in there to get a match with Justin, that's going to be interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Zach Lee. I just seen him over at the 98. He was there this past weekend. Zach is a beast. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think he's one of those guys where, the East Coast guys know all about him, but I don't think many of the other country knows much. And he's definitely one of those sleepers that could present a problem for a lot of those guys in there. Eric Harlan says, $5 super chat. Cody and Hunter are round number 1. I don't think either will win 100. Wow, that's a good one. Cody Wood is who he's talking about. And those are both, I think they're 154 guys. So they got them squaring off round 1. That's going to be interesting, man. I know personally, I think Hunter Knopf takes that. I think Hunter's just so damn fast. I don't think Cody's going to be able to handle that. What's your thoughts on that one, Israel?
That's a great matchup, man. Cody's one of those guys that if the match stops, it's going to be good on his side usually. I'm thinking that, Hunter's definitely going to try to flash pin him, but I'm hoping the match stops to see what happens. I always like to see what happens if it gets interesting,
Hell yeah, man. So, Alexander, what day do you get in over at I think it's in Tennessee, right? Is where everything goes down?
Yeah, I'll be there Friday morning. I'm gonna drive there from Toronto, so
nice. That's a far drive. How long of a drive is that?
It's 10 hours. It's better than flying for me right now, so.
Okay. And do we have a press conference? Do we know if there's a press conference Friday night or?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm assuming it'll be over on LeRae Jenkins' YouTube channel. So guys, definitely tune in over there. I'll find out for sure. I'll make sure to post before that. I'm really excited about this. I'll be definitely paying attention. You know, I'm making the cut down to 176, so it'd be very interesting to see who the top of the 176 class is. So I'll definitely be tuning in, watching that. Anything else? Anybody else want to bring up? Any topics or anything that we missed this week? We need to talk.
No, I just say I love the round robin format. I think it does create a scenario though where you could run the whole draw a couple of different ways and you get different winners each time, because you know it really depends on who you get matched up with. Because if you have a couple of wars early and you're wrecked by the time you have your next sort of 5-6 matches, they're probably going to be losses. It also really favors those guys that have that real flash pin style, because if they are able to sort of get some quick wins in the early rounds and they're still fresh, while other guys, have been using strength or, to try to overpower people, by the time they sort of get into it, it can really affect things. I know they're doing left and right. So I'll be interested to see which one they put first, if it's left, and they go through all of the left-hand matches, because that's going to affect things as well going into the right. Say you have some absolute wars on your left and you're a right-handed puller, stepping up against some of the other guys, it's like, oh man, I'm already exhausted and we haven't even started. So yeah, it'd be very interesting, but it should be a lot of fun. Alexander, what sort of
go ahead, Matt.
I was going to see what sort of style Alexander usually favors.
For a tournament or round robin, I'd want to top row and finish it fast, but I can also hook and finish the guy fast. So whatever is the easiest for me is what I'm gonna do. And also, I have Justin Bishop last round, I think. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, so you know the draw already?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, interesting. What were you gonna say, Israel?
I was just going to comment on what you were saying, Matt, how it's really interesting with tournaments and with round robins. The draw plays a big part of how the outcome could, happen. And it's almost as if you need to run these round robins a few times with different setups from the beginning, just to see how it ends up at the end, because like you're saying, if two really good pullers get stuck in a hard match, you can throw them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Are they doing left hand or right hand first?
Do you know, Paul?
I'm not sure which one they're going first. Is LeRae in the comments, in the chats? LeRae, if you're in there, let us know, man, which one's going first, right hand or left hand? I don't know. I would always think left hand for some reason would go first, and right would be more like the main event. But I don't know if that could be true.
Yeah.
And Alexander, you're in both hands. You're right and left. You're competing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about doing that? Do you feel that's going to be hard to go that many matches in one day?
No, I've done worse actually. I was in Switzerland. There was a 14-hour tournament. It lasted so long. I was exhausted. I finished at 5 a.m. So I don't think it'll last that long.
So you're ready for war. I love it.
Yeah.
Did you win?
I won youth that day, not seniors. Yeah.
How old are you, Alexander? Sorry, I don't know if I missed that.
I'm 18. I'm turning 19.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. I had no idea.
You're very young. Yeah.
What's your biggest win?
My biggest win is probably on a WAF world champion, Kristaps, if you know Kristaps.
Kristaps Blumens, whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
I beat him left arm in a tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest one, yeah.
So I think, Alexander, that makes you the youngest competitor in this round robin, does it not?
I think so. I don't know other guys, so maybe. Yeah,
I believe so.
The other one would be Dusty Hyatt, which is 21.
I think, yeah, he's like 21. Yeah, okay, wow.
That's impressive, bro. I didn't even know. Holy shit, that's really, really impressive.
Thank you.
We got a super chat from Metal365 for $5. He goes, I want to see Captain Pretentious versus Captain Obvious in a super match. Who is with me? Oh, yeah.
The two captains.
Hell yeah. Hey, Captain. So I haven't gotten a chance to really ask you, but I wanted to get your take of how you're feeling after Winter Blast. I know this is probably your first big super match, so I want to know where your head's at and kind of what's next for you.
Well, it stinks a little bit. Took a loss. I did exactly what Beer Man accused Paul of doing, and I trusted my bicep way too much there, and just that's it, really. It sucked. Hurts now. Bicep hurts.
So
Terrible.
What do you
what's
learn from
next
that
now?
match?
What do we got next? And is Eric Harlan in your future for a super match?
Maybe I've been talking to Voodoo, not for a match, but to do something. We want to start doing stuff together, doing a character sort of thing. Maybe a small little
Tag match.
Arm Wars style super match series, pre-recorded stuff, something like that.
That would be sick, man. That would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
What's Paul? What's your thoughts on? We had this at the tournament on the weekend with Arm Gods. They had a novice class and a pro class. They ran the novice class. And I didn't see any sort of requirements as to what you've got to be able to. If you've won something before or whatever, then you can't go in novice. Didn't say anything like that. A couple of the guys that competed in novice turned out to be WAF world champions, and we didn't find that out until afterwards. So I think they're going to be disqualified. But do you have you experienced that before, or is there a requirement in tournaments where you've been in where it's like if you're novice but you've placed in any previous tournament, then you can't go in novice anymore?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And then as far as like amateur, I haven't been in many tournaments that had the novice class. I've been where there's the amateur, and then I've seen the semi-pro. So what they normally do with that, what I'm hearing, is that if you win 3 amateur tournaments, then you're added amateurs, and now you graduate to semi-pros. And the same thing with the semi-pros. If you win 3 semi-pros, now you graduate to the pro class and all. So as far as with the novice, what did they get though? I don't get like a WAF champion. What does he get out of going winning that? Like, does that make him feel bad? Like, I'm just, I'm curious to, like, what did he gain from that?
Yeah, well, you got to beat me on camera.
I mean, if he had something personal and he was just trying to get you, then all right, I guess. But I mean, it's just kind of weird, man. I just don't know why they'd want to do that,
Yeah, I think they were blaming the language barrier, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, there is 2 classes here for a reason, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. If you want to put yourself in those classes and you know that you're an actual, you're a world champion, it's like you don't go in the beginners.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's fair with the whole 3 wins. I think that's a good way to do it with it because you're ready to graduate. Once you get 3 wins, you pretty much figured out that class. So I think that's a good way of going it. And some people could take them 10 years to win 3 classes. And then they have the right to be an amateur. I think one of them be Greg Brown. I think that's what his claim to fame is or whatever. But with me, it was 5 months. I did my 5 months. I did the amateurs and semi-pros. I won 3 in each of them, amateurs, and then 3 in the semi-pros. And then I went to pro after that. So everybody's got their own timeline what it'll take to win those tournaments. And then it also matters the tournaments you're going to also. Because I mean, if you go in the United States, if you go to like one of the ones in the middle of the country, that's not like that big of a tournament. It's probably a lot easier than going to like the East Coast or West Coast and winning one of those tournaments also, So
yeah,
what's your guys' whole thoughts on that? What is your thoughts, Alexander, like when you're ready to go to make the change in the pro class?
From what I heard in Canada, they say either it's if you've been playing for 1 or 2 years, you should probably do pro. Or if you win an amateur tournament early, you should probably consider going to pro. So we've had a few guys that were like 5 years in and they won multiple amateurs and they would still keep doing amateurs. I don't know why, but I guess it was a preference for them. I'm not gonna name them obviously, but I don't think it's fair for the amateurs that they're just getting the sport. They want to go against the newer people, right?
The only thing I can see
though,
a problem with is if you just go with the flat out time, like, if you just say, oh, you've been pulling a year or 2, there's a lot of guys that have been pulling a year or 2 that aren't ready to go to that pro class. Yeah. Like a lot of guys, like even in like the super heavyweights, I think that would be kind of tough for them, only pull like a year and then say they're ready, and then to go to all these tournaments and like travel all that way and then go 2 and out. So I kind of understand that. That's why I think, putting the standard where you got to win 3 amateurs, then you got to win. And I really think semi-pros is something that everybody should adapt into the tournaments. I think it's a really beneficial class. It makes sense. It'll make it where, the real amateurs are in the amateur class, and then the ones that actually win amateur events are now in the semi-pro. So it puts up the caliber of arm wrestler, I feel. And I think it's a good thing. And it's like that middle ground, so you're not just thrown right into a pro class to go 0-2 for the next, year. Because I think that could discourage a lot of people too. Guys like, I keep using Greg Brown because he was a guy that we were talking about this last time with. But, he travels all over the place, and he's in the sport 10 years. And he would just go 2 and out in all these pro tournaments, and he's like paying all this money to go there. And it's like kind of discouraging, so I kind of get that, man, where, if he won 3 amateurs, then I'd be like, all right, bro, you can't do that no more. But if he didn't win that, I think that's fair for him to stay in the amateurs.
Yeah, that's one of those things we were talking about on the weekend, because a couple of the guys were like, which class are you doing? And so I'm doing the novice, and they're like, how long you been pulling for? And I was 5 years. And they're like, why are you on the novice? You shouldn't be doing the novice. And I'm like, I've never won a single match in a tournament. And they're like, what? How? And well, the amount of pullers that we've got in Australia is a lot smaller. So there isn't a novice class and a pro class. There's just the tournament. So you're going against the top guys in the country. Like, you're going to get destroyed. And I think I was 0-14 or something in tournaments. And then so when I went over there, I was like, well, I'm going to enter the novice. Like, I've literally never won a single match. So getting a win, it was funny because the guy who was doing the brackets, after I got my win, I went and sat down, and then he's like, hey, you're supposed to come up here and tell me that you won your match. And I was like, oh, I've never won a match before. He's like, what? Really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, what on?
Now, how did it feel, like going 0-14? Were you discouraged, man? Did it stop you from like competing as much?
It's not a good feeling. And like you said, when you put your arm up there, and let's say you draw somebody who's very, very high level for your first round, and it's like, well, this is pointless. Like, it doesn't matter how much I've trained at this point. Like, they're years and years ahead of me. So you're just going to get crushed. And then it's like, you might get somebody around your level in the second match, hopefully. But yeah, it's losing and losing and losing. And that's why we have a lot more super match stuff happening over here as opposed to the tournament stuff.
Now, when you're losing, man, are you taking anything from that? Like, are you learning or getting experience, or not even really? Because it's so quick.
Yeah, well, getting flash pinned is the worst, because a lot of the time you don't even realize what happened or what went wrong. And obviously it was, it comes down to your setup and all the rest of it. But if you're still learning, it's like, I don't understand all the nuances and the little movements and where he was positioned, and watching the referee's mouth when they were going to say that. And, all of those little things that can make a difference as to whether or not in half a second your arm hits the pad. And if you're in that first 2 years, you don't know those things. You're still trying to figure out how to actually do the movements. So if you're entering a tournament, I always sort of feel bad for the guys. And it's like, if somebody's brand new, or somebody's within the first 6 months and they're going up against another puller who's very experienced, I always say to the experienced guy, I'm like, look, this guy is brand new, or he's very new. Don't destroy this dude. Like, you don't have to waste your energy, but don't just smash this person. Take them down easily so that they don't get hurt and all the rest of it. But yeah, it can be frustrating. But yeah, finding super matches, finding people around your level seems to be better for building up that knowledge of how to set up and how to do all those little things, as opposed to the tournament format.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to ask Alexander, have you pulled Auden Lorette before?
Yes, in the tournament, and I practiced with him a couple of months ago as well. Yes.
And how did that go? Did you win in the tournament against him?
I faced him in 2 tournaments. I won all of them, but he was pretty new then. I trained with him a couple of months ago. It was just a practice. I felt good. he got a lot bigger since then, so I don't know how good he is right now. I assume he's progressing very fast, so I don't know how good he is right now. But so far, I haven't lost to him yet.
That's both right and left hand.
Yes, yes.
Do you see a match happening? Because I know he's mentioned you before. I know he said that he needed some more time. Do you see that match happening anytime soon? And would it be a problem him gaining all the weight? Because you know he's got to be up around 220 right now.
I'd still pull him. If he wants to pull a 176 guy, I'd pull him for sure. It doesn't bother me. I pull bigger guys all the time. I don't think it will be fair, but we're the same age, so no problem.
And I mean, you're a world class arm wrestler too, so I think your levels are probably a little higher than than his as well. Well,
it's pretty impressive how quick. It's pretty impressive how quickly he climbed to that level too, considering he's been arm wrestling for 3 years.
I mean, bro, he lives with the best arm wrestler on the planet, and he's been arm wrestling since he was able to walk and competing.
No, I'm
in
talking
all
about
tournaments.
Alexander. I'm talking about.
Oh,
Alexander.
I thought you were talking about Auden.
I know. He's been basically his whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, of course he's gonna be one of the best ever, man, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, yeah, Alexander, same question for you, brother. Like, how did you progress so quick, and how are you so damn good?
Well, I'm from Georgia, right? So not that it means anything, but I was always around it as a kid. I always arm wrestled. Everyone knows arm wrestling there. So I don't know if it helped me, but I always we arm wrestled every day back in like middle school. I actually hurt my arm before, like from arm wrestling when I was like 11, and I had an injury over here, and I didn't go to a doctor, so it kind of healed a bit messed up, but I think it got me stronger somehow. Maybe that helped. I don't know.
Oh, probably got that John Brzenk break in your forearm, and it helped, huh?
It was in the elbow right here.
Oh, in the elbow.
I don't know what it was. Yeah.
So, Alexander, tell me some of your arm wrestling goals. Like, let's hear your 5-year plan for arm wrestling.
Well, I actually know I will eventually be top level. I don't know how long it'll take me, so I'm not gonna like rush it. I know eventually I'll be able to get to like East versus West. If I win WAF, it'll also really help me get my name out there. I got second at WAF last year in juniors. My goal is to win seniors, maybe 80, 85 kilo eventually in a couple of years. So, yeah.
And who's the team that you train with?
I don't really have a team right now. I just train with my friends. I have a couple of youth pullers. We're also competing in WAF every year, so we train together.
And how much table time a week do you get in?
One is enough for me, mostly, yeah.
Are you a big gym guy?
I used to be, not anymore. I have my own setup at home with a table and a pulley, and I focus more on arm wrestling lifts right now.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it, brother. I wish you the best of luck this coming weekend. We'll all be tuning in. Definitely want to see how it all turns out. Shout out to LeRae Jenkins. Thank you for putting this amazing round robin together. He's puts them all together, but this 176 is going down this weekend. Get over to his channel. Make sure to subscribe. Friday night, they got a press conference. Saturdays when everything goes down. Alexander, do you know what time the start time will be?
1 p.m. or 12 p.m. I think. Don't take my word. I don't know for sure.
All right, so we'll confirm that, but definitely it's going to be around 12 p.m. But we'll get that ironed out, and I'll make sure to post that. All right, guys. Before we call it a night, let's see the gun shows. Everybody, post them up. Oh yeah! And guys in the chat, if you haven't already, make sure to click that thumbs up button. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see everybody next week, man. Tune into the Arm Wrestling Buzz. Thank you guys for coming on.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice night.